Earth is a very, very tricky place, as we all know. And what's very, very interesting is that out of the hundreds of sessions that I've personally conducted throughout the years, I've had almost every single person come up to you and say, Brad, you've never heard a background like mine. You have no idea what I've gone through. You have no idea what my childhood was like. You have no idea of the kind of people that I had to phase out of my life. You have no idea how this happened to me, how this relationship took place, that I was abused, that I went through financial peril, etc., etc. And it's very interesting to listen to because so many people tell me this. Every time it's almost like there's a scale to where people will say, oh Brad, no, you have not heard a background story like mine. This will really get you fascinated by this. And I've heard a lot. And again, a lot of people are some of the most wonderful people I've met. People with just beautiful hearts, great, beautiful souls. They're amazing. But the whole idea here is that they have personally attached themselves to the conduit of abuse. And as long as that abuse is the driving force of feeling that there needs to be a betterment, then you're only going to be stuck within that circle of abuse. It's the whole idea of feeling that, well, I went through all this hell, I went through all this craziness, this insanity throughout my entire life, through my childhood years, through my teenage years, when I was a young adult, and here I am in my late 30s, and I just want to prove to myself that I'm better than that. I want to prove to the world that I am, the best amazing person that I can possibly be. And again, I look at that person, and the true feeling is that then you're going to be playing that wheel of abuse over and over and over again. Because your mentality isn't about liberation. Your mentality is about attempting to prove the ego wrong. It's a game that you're playing. It's a competitive game. I'm not a loser anymore. The ego, oh yes you are. Oh no, I'm not. And that's basically what it is. It's you're just attempting to feed the fire a lot more. It's playing fire with fire. Now, we go through a lot of deep contrast on planet Earth. There's so many of us that have gone through horrible things, that have just, our hearts have been broken, our wallets have been broken, we've been bankrupt, we've lost jobs that we felt that we belonged to, we've wanted to go on trips, or we've wanted to meet new people, and everything has fallen to the ground. And this is the nature in regards to the extreme connection of contrast that we have on this planet. And some people may not be comfortable with that feeling. Say, oh, I'm tired of playing the contrast game. I'm tired of always being stabbed in the back. I'm tired of losing my money. I'm tired of being backstabbed in relationships. I'm tired of feeling that I have to live off the scraps of life. But then again, that form is transforming into the competitive nature to compete with the ego. I'm tired of you, ego, and I'm going to retaliate, and I'm going to, raise this rebel flag, and this is what's going to get me going. I'm going to, ego, you're going to pay for what you've done to me, or, all these other people are going to pay for what they've done to me because I'm going to prove them wrong. It's all about them, and it's not about yourself. You're enacting yourself into a quality that believes that, well, if I prove everybody else wrong, I'm liberated. That's it. That's how it's going to happen. That's not how it's going to happen, because it will be an endless feedback loop. If you feel that you're going to take on the world, you will spend the rest of your life taking on the world. You will spend the rest of your life continuing to get backstabbed because you're not willing to liberate yourself from that feeling. You will continue to feed off the scraps of life because you're not willing to liberate yourself from that feeling. So how do we become liberated from a lot of these forms of abuse, from these attachments that we've had? It comes down to the point where you realize nothing that you've ever experienced belongs to you. It's coming down to the point where you feel that you can gladly admit through yourself that, yeah, you've been through a lot of these trials and tribulations. You've been through a lot of these challenges. You've had a lot of these hardships about feeling betrayed in relationships, about feeling that you've been bankrupt or lost a lot of your money. And when you really start to look at it in that way and saying, yeah, I did. I went through a very, very tough time with the finances, and the universe had to show me all of that in order for me to understand what my true wealth is, what my true value is. And now I'm feeling I'm bringing that about. I'm creating a whole new perspective where I'm seeing myself as the wealth. I'm seeing myself as value. I'm seeing myself as worthiness. And I'm doing that in regards to the actions right here and right now. Back then, no, I wasn't doing that. And I'm actually speaking this because this was my situation. I had a past relationship that just really did not go very, very well. I'm still separated from my ex from this very day for the past 4 years, simply because there's, it just did not work out. There was no more love there. There was no more spark. Everything really was just kind of black smoke, so to speak. And I moved on. And for those past 4 years, I was just, assaulting myself, really. Abusing myself because I kept living in the past. Where did it go wrong? What did I do? Did I make the right decision? Should I have done that? Should I have made the kind of courses of action that I did? Was that going to be appropriate? The same thing with money, financial situations. Maybe I can live off the scraps of life. Maybe that's all I deserve. Maybe I feel that's it. Maybe I feel that everything that I do just really represents the scraps and that I'm supposed to live off that. Forget about the heart center of being able to do everything that I do with my own self-appreciation. No, it's about others. It's about making sure that they're okay, not making sure that I'm okay. You see, this is how we get into the trap. And if we do not liberate ourselves, if we do not feel that everything we're doing is part of our own personal growth, and that we are able to befriend those particular forms of admittances, we're never going to be liberated. We will continue to run this hamster wheel over and over and over again. Now, when that situation first arises where you feel that, you've been backstabbed, you've betrayed, the natural reaction is to vent it out, is to unleash it, is to tell a friend, oh, I'm so mad right now. This has happened to me, and this has happened to me, and it's absolutely horrible. My whole world is falling apart, etc., etc. Because we're right at the brunt of feeling the beginning effects of this transition. And so venting is going to be a natural process. It's something that has been stored up in ourselves for so very long, and now it's finally reached a climax. The climax is now that your body can no longer hold this energy together, and now it's being unleashed because the situation has been straining for so long, pertaining to this cooperative repelling now taking place, that through this breakup of finances, of relationships, that this situation happens. And from all this buildup of condensed energy, like a volcano that erupts, is now spewing to the surface, and people will get angry. They will get upset. They will get, all types of spewing emotions coming out. That's the natural reaction when you condense energy in yourself for so long. When there's a situation that comes up and you're very open and you're very honest with yourself, and you've let that type of energy express itself through you, there's no real buildup, and so the situation does not become explosive. Oh, okay, well that situation didn't work out. You know what, I'm not really too worried about it, because now there's other opportunities coming my way, and I'm going to go ahead and take that. What happened? You did not let that energy get condensed. That energy did not become attachment. That energy did not feel that it had to embed itself so deeply and continue to get build up and build up and build up. And that's how a situation gets worse, because we again feel so attached. We feel owned to a situation. We feel that we're the ones that are carrying all this weight, and that we cannot let it go. And then when something finally happens, when the situation hits its climax, everything explodes, because we've condensed this energy for so very long. If you really want personal liberation, you need to admit to yourself all of these things that have been going through your life. You need to admit to where you felt that, yes, this has happened. I do admit that I have had financial trouble and that I hated money, or that I really, did not fit into this particular relationship, even though I wanted it so much to work. I felt that I was not able to carry it out. I felt that I was not the other part of the puzzle piece that belonged in that area of the puzzle. And when you do that, you feel liberated. Everything starts to come together. The only way that you're ever going to feel true freedom is when you are no longer attached to an idea, is when you are no longer attached to a thought, is when you are no longer attached to your emotions. Now, some people may say, well, emotions are a natural process. Emotions are a gauge based upon your own level of how you understand the nature of attachment or liberation. So when you're feeling that the situation has come through and you haven't really thrown a lot of attachment to it, and you're able to move yourself into that level, your emotions are in check. You didn't feel that you had to go to such an extreme of anger or being upset or great sadness or great depression, because you have not attached yourself to that emotion. And so your gauge is steady. It's a bit of a, maybe a 1.0 on a Richter scale, but you're able to say, oh, okay, well, it's unfortunate that didn't work out, but you know what, that's okay. This other opportunity has come through and I'm gonna go for that. That's fantastic, that's great, that's it. That's really being able to tap into your feeling. And your feeling really is the green point of the scale. It's when you start going off into the yellow, and then it's off into the red when it goes, blah, and you want to explode. So we have a lot of work to do, each and every single one of us. Earth is just, when it comes to collective consciousness of humanity, it's a dirty, dirty, dirty place. We have so much contrast, and it's basically like trying to walk into a room that's covered in mud and thinking that you can go across the room in bare feet without touching the mud at all. That's basically what it is, and it is very, very dirty. Now, we can constantly complain that, oh my god, I just stepped in mud, oh my god, I think I just stepped in dog crap, whatever it may be that's contained in this nasty, dirty room. But the whole idea is realizing, I know there's a lot of dirt, I know there's a lot of mud, I know there's a lot of crap, but I'm going to get to the other side. Because I'm no longer attaching myself to the debris that's on the floor. I'm passionate in moving to that next level, and I'm liberated to the degree where I don't feel that dirt needs to stick to me, because as soon as I'm able to walk to that other part, that dirt will wash off, that mud will go, that crap will dissolve itself, because what matters to me is my honesty, is my own personal liberation by not attaching to one idea. Everything in the universe is borrowed. Our thoughts are borrowed. Our emotional states are simply a gauge that is interpreting these borrowed thoughts, these borrowed ideas, these borrowed bodies. That's personal liberation. When you can admit to yourself, when admittance becomes your best friend, then you are truly liberated, then you understand the nature of freedom. And I know there's a lot of people out there that need this help, and I will do my best, absolutely, to assist others in the work that I do, in my life that I do, as this is my life. Everything that you see me doing on these videos, everything that you see me doing on these sessions, this is my life. This is what I've created. This is what I've committed my full life to, because I love it, because I adore it. And I'm still working with vulnerabilities myself. No one is perfect in that point of saying, I'm 110% liberated. There's still a few things that as I go along life, I start to realize those points. Oh, okay, I'm still carrying this. Now I'm going to go ahead and work to liberate that. So believe me when I say you're not alone. That the people upon these videos that go into spiritual work, that go into consciousness work, a lot of them are just as lost as many of you. There's times where I'm very much lost as well too. And you know what? It's okay, because we have each other really to talk to discuss, to share certain ideas that I have gained through experience, for you to even share ideas that you have gained through experience with me and with everyone else that does this work. And really, anybody that really wants to say, well, I've had my own spiritual quest, and I'm 100% liberated, I'm good to go, I can help all of you. It's almost like a stroke of the chin moment there. So it's just good to be mindful of these things. We're all in this together. We're all human beings, and we're all attempting to learn what liberation truly is. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Brad Johnson. Much love to all you guys. Take care. Namaste. And may it be well with you. Goodbye.